But I always just try to keep smiling. And don't I have a good one? You know what I have? I have a pageant smile. I can just go into it, just... Here comes one of those professors that Beaver flunked that course. And I can pull in and I can wave. Sometime I'll be in the Atlanta airport and there'll be people all around and I can't get through. I just stop and go into it and they will clear the path. I think as long as we mention pageant, we need to take this to Miss North Carolina thing full circle. See, we had the two of them all last year. People would call and say, we would like to have Miss North Carolina come and speak. They'd say, well, which one would you want? And then the time rolled around to name the new one. And they both wanted, of course, to go out and crown her. And here we go again, lawsuits, big discussion, and finally they made a decision. Don't let either one of them do it. And guess who they asked? Me. At my age. I went over to Tony immediately. I said, I got to be in Raleigh at War Memorial Auditorium on June 26th. I'm going to crown Miss North Carolina. She said, do what? I am going to crown Miss North Carolina. Don't look at me that way, Tony. If I were 27 years old, it would look like I was clinging to this. I would turn down this invitation. But I'm almost 60. They want me to come over there and crown her. I'm going over there and have a good time. See, this is the problem when you work with somebody this many years. She said, you wouldn't have turned it down at 27. You wouldn't turn it down at 97. The problem's going to be you're going to go out there with that crown and try to put it on your own head. So I went up to Left Brain's office and I told him about it and I said, you know what, honey, I really do want to look as good as I can. And I have read in the paper that the young women in pageants today tape up the sagging areas of their body. We didn't do that. He said, what kind of tape? I said, I guess that white athletic tape that we used to wrap around our ankles. I think I'm going to call one of them and see if they would show me how to do it. What do you think? He's a very to-the-point person. He said, I think that if you taped up all of the sagging areas of your body and they introduced you to come out there, the people would be shocked when a mummy came walking out on stage. I said, that's it. And I left my place and I went to my bestest friend. I know that it's good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good get better, the better. But then we go on to bestest if it's your bestest friend. I went to my bestest friend, Norma. Well, y'all know we're from the South. Her name would not just be Norma. Her name is Norma Rose. We always gave our little girls two names in case they wanted to be in a pageant. Norma Rose has an Elon connection too because her husband, Alan, is the athletic director here. And I said, Norma Rose, they've asked me to come over and crown Miss North Carolina. Norma Rose is a former high school math teacher. She doesn't fool with anything. She said, just like that, tell me that you are not going to go out on that stage in front of the state of North Carolina and raise your arms with those two hammocks hanging down. She will be the first Miss North Carolina in history that was slapped in the face with arm flab before she got the crown. And pray tell, Norma Rose said, what are you going to wear? I said, well, I've been thinking about it. I'm going down to the Graham Historical Museum and get one of my pageant gowns off of the mannequin. See, last year, a friend of mine from Graham, where I grew up, Mary Helen, called and said, do you have one of your pageant gowns that you could possibly put in the Graham Historical Museum? I said, Mary Helen, you can have every bit of it if you want it. I got 10 boxes of stuff I've been saving for 40 years. You can put it down there. If y'all haven't seen the exhibit, you need to go. Let's see, Mary Helen. It's open most Sunday afternoons. By appointment or when the flag is out. Take your check. And if you are a pack rat like I am, this just goes to show you, I saved that stuff for 40 years and never looked at it, gave it away, and now I needed one of those gowns. I said, Norma Rose, I'm going to starve myself to death. I'm going to go down there and sneak out one of those gowns. She said, I'm going to tell you what. You might starve yourself and get in that gown, but if you do, when you come out on the stage, you better sidestep your way out. Because that 40-year-old zipper's going to pop and you're going to go rolling right out into the orchestra pit. She said, let me think about it a little bit. Southern women can come up with anything. She says, here's what I think you ought to do. It doesn't matter what you got on. Before you go into Memorial Auditorium, you take your elbows and you plant them right here at your waist. And you don't move them again until you get back to the car. Norma Rose said, you can still talk. You can be animated. You can even meet people and shake their hand. And you can hug people. But don't you get out there and start waving your pageant wave. If you wave from down here. So there I was last June, standing off stage with my elbows plastered down, holding the crown, getting ready to sidestep out. And I got lucky. The new Miss North Carolina is a young woman named Dana Reason, the shortest Miss North Carolina we have ever had. All I had to do was sidestep out and just transfer the crown over to her head. And then I just waved my way right off stage.